Introducing new Moth Be Gone. Welcome back to WETT The Splash, the home of all your naughty little secrets.
We are live from the scene of the accident, and the death toll has climbed to a staggering rate.
The thing is, I don't need to feel bad, and then you make this weird Avatar movie where we're recreating us capturing black people but making them blue.
What?
I don't
No,
understand.
of course you don't need to feel bad. No.
Yeah, dude. I watched these Avatar movies.
Yes.
All right, so I started watching the second one.
Yes.
First one, all right. Back Night Problems, promo code thickness. This is all gonna come around. The first one, I saw it in theaters, 3D.
3D?
3D.
3D?
Back when 3D was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah.
when you would get the glasses, but you were still so like excited that you'd steal them afterwards, as if the world
Souvenir.
was going to be 3D. Like,
Oh, yes.
like they gave you like the missing piece to a puzzle.
Like they were going to work outside of the theater. Yeah,
and they didn't want you to keep them because they didn't want people to have that kind of power.
You're going to start seeing T-Rexes and shit like roaming around in the like horizon.
I remember like I can remember being a kid putting on the old school 3D glasses, the one blue, one red paper. You know what I'm saying? And then you try to like poke yourself in the eye and see if it's gonna be 3D, and then you just hurt yourself.
I don't know if I did that, but sure.
Hey, I wanted to know how immersive it was. But so I saw the first Avatar in 3D in theater,
Avatar,
and I thought it was good. I thought it was. It kind of reminded me of Small Soldiers. From when we were
interesting.
Kids.
I never really made that parallel, but I guess that makes sense.
Well, yeah, the Navis, that the Gorgon or the brown guy, and then there's fucking, then there's the white dudes in the military. Like it was,
It's kind invasion.
So like to me, I was like, yeah, this is cool. I like this. I like the idea, and like at that time, that was some pretty crazy like CGI and art.
Yeah.
Now I feel like we've been a little bit more desensitized.
Sure.
More of that has come out since then.
It's almost expected now.
The technology that's been out on the consumer level from when Avatar 1 was released in theaters till today, it's just not as impressive.
Sure. Yeah.
So then I go to watch the second one, and I was just the whole time, dude, like, I think I got about 30 minutes in, and I look over at Bubbles, and I was like, is this supposed to be like a recreation of Black Wall Street? Like, is this like a race thing? Like, is this supposed to be like you guys found a way to call people the N-word, but you made them blue, so it's okay now?
It's like there's segue around it.
Yeah,
they found a loophole in the contract.
Just watch Avatar, but just imagine the black people were just people on like Beale Street growing up.
I mean, you're kind of not wrong.
The whites are trying to gentrify the fuck out of them. They're just trying to keep to their shit.
Push them further and further out from their original homes.
Yep. I mean, it all kind of makes sense, and of course, as you start to push them, they get violent, as they do.
Actually, I think I have heard somebody say in an interview that like it is an anecdote on gentrification. Like I'm pretty sure Avatar has those tones on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true to James Cameron's vision. I feel like James Cameron just wanted to write just something that was a big epic, I think that lots of visual effects and then other shit came in from other writers probably.
In the first one, it didn't really ever come to mind to me personally. I never really thought about it like that.
It was more about the discovery of the world.
Yeah. And like he's an avatar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a legless fella getting into a machine and becoming a creature that's on this world. Now you're in the world. Like you already know what it is. It's not that crazy anymore. And like it's almost like, why did you make this? Like, who's the avatars now? Like, is there an avatar in Avatar? And of course there is. There's still like the scientists and shit that are actually in avatar suits or whatever. But it took maybe 10 minutes for me to go, so Navis are black people. That's for sure. That's what they're doing here.
Yeah.
And then I think, by 30 or 40, I looked at Bubbles. I was like, what is this? I'm not doing this. This feels like a lot of white guilt in this movie. I'm not fucking doing this.
Number 2, I definitely watched. We were talking about this before, like just the show. But I kind of watched both Avatars with the Pacific Rim kind of expectancy,
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really expecting an elaborate story with an intricate world. I was kind of more expecting like technology, advances in cinema, I guess, like I was looking for the big wow and spectacle.
Yeah.
So like I guess I was never really married to the world being, I guess, super involved and convincing when I went to go see them. But to your point, I think it does kind of lean on that kind of us versus them vibe, you know? And it's easy to make a lot of parallels for sure.
Well, it's like,
across the board.
Even if you look at the history of like back in our history, not white history, human history, and Avatar history, it's like it starts with us finding them and then trying to pretend to be one of them so we can round them up. You know what I'm saying? Gather the resources.
Yeah.
And the second one is basically the Rwandan genocide. It's the Hutus versus the Tutsis. We found out that they will fight each other if we do it right.
Yeah.
Like they're violent with everybody, and then we come in and we try to clean it up again. So I'm going to predict right now that Avatar 4 is just going to be straight up like it's going to be a concert scene, and they're all going to be like smoking weed and like like twerking and shit like that.
Yeah,
and then
fucking twerking.
Yeah, and then the white guys are going to come in. It's not as the military, but they're just going to like subpoena them. Like, it's like we can't have this, and then it turns into like them owning them as like a record company more than killing them with the rifles. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the progression. Like,
right.
It's like how do they own black people now? It's like, well, they own all the sports
Music.
and entertainment.
Yep, and most entertainment.
And we make them the best in sports and entertainment, and we make sure that the whites we'll rule it, but the blacks will star in it.
Yes.
I mean the Navi.
Yeah,
I mean the Navi.
Navi.
The Blues. Sorry, the Blues will star in it.
We're drawing lines here. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I could definitely see the parallels in both movies.
It just definitely felt like really on the nose. I was like, this is racist. This is such a fun way to be able to say the N-word. Like this, that's what that is. It's like
this is James Cameron's cop out for the N-word.
Yeah, dude. Like, it doesn't count. They're Navi.
I just really want to say it, bro. So he became a AAA fucking director and producer.
Yeah. So he can make his own N-words with the Navi.
Well, I invent my own fucking language then, god damn it.
Bro, Tristan did the funniest shit.
That's kind of genius, I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out to Tristan the other day. He fucking posted himself on Instagram.
Friend
of the show. Yeah.
The homie?
He posted a picture of him like sitting next to a Christmas tree, and he's wearing, I don't know, maybe it's Nebraska or something like that. He's wearing like a 6X shirt that's just got one giant N. And
he's huge too.
The amount of jokes in my head, I was like, oh, that's the biggest N I've ever seen. And it's like, he's like, God damn it, Tristan, you're gonna be. How are you gonna be a 6'4", like 450-pound black
he's
guy?
He's doing it on purpose. That's on purpose. That's a setup for sure.
Oh my God.
That's a for sure
Whoa,
setup.
Fuck, that's a big N.
I think all the years of you and Mark just fucking just digging into him, he's now become a master like setup. He's a setup craftsman.
He knows his place.
No, he just knows how to like egg people on. You know, he's like, how can you not be Tristan? Look at this giant shirt and smirk and when walking out after buying it.
Yeah, dude.
Or that's got to be premeditated. I see you, bro.
Love it.
I see you, dude.
It's one of the funnest fashion choices I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, speaking of giant ends, like I wasn't a big fan of Avatar 2.
By giant N, he means giant no.
Yeah, exactly. I ended up turning it off about 50 minutes in, I'd say. But then you know what I did watch was the Elvis movie. That was pretty good.
The forget the dude that acted as Elvis, right?
I can't remember his.
I can't remember his name.
But the Colonel, his fucking agent, is Tom Hanks.
Oh, sick! I didn't know that.
But it's Tom Hanks is like
that's dope.
You know, like he's kind of like fat and he's got like a weird speech impediment, and it's almost a little Sandler-ish, like Sandy Wexler. Like he.
Okay.
But it was really good. The guy who plays Elvis was good. You know, he's definitely a very.
I've heard amazing things about that. Yeah,
he's an attractive man, like with his wiry, full black hair. You know, when he starts to sweat and you get those like those cool thick spikes of hair and shit like that. Like they're really good with that, and like him, doing all the shaking. Like it made a lot of sense, and it was. I honestly, I thought it was really good. It made me want to watch that Freddie Mercury one.
I was gonna say, I think that Elvis movie was riding the wave from the Freddie Mercury one, because that one did really, really well in box office, from what I hear.
Yeah.
So
I gotta see that. But speaking of box office, though, it did really fucking bad. Five Nights at Freddy's is already like on Peacock. The motherfucker's in theater like last week. Probably still isn't.
Because why would you make that?
Because it was
like, come on, like I know it's popular, but like there is a thing as such as low hanging fruit, like you just don't go for the easy shit, even if it looks like it might make you money. A lot of the times that shit won't make you any money. You know, it's the higher up fruit that usually bear plentiful.
It just looked so like 90s, like just worn out. Like I already know how this is gonna go. I don't even need to watch it. I've already know every jump scare that this motherfucker's gonna give me. Like it just like even the actor, like I like that guy, but I'm just like I'm not as interested. Like it's below me. Sorry Five Nights at Freddy's. That's why you're on Peacock already.
Yeah, and it's hard. I was thinking about this too, because now that we've been starting to venture further into cinema, and just making our own stuff, right? Like it's really difficult. It's very difficult just to make something that's high quality, because anybody can go out and make like a YouTube-based short where you don't care about the aesthetic of everything. Because everyone, like whether they like it or not, like everyone knows the difference between a YouTube-produced sketch, that looks good, and like a AAA or even like a AA like studio independent film, right? Like there's just the level of color correction, sound design is a couple leagues higher, right? Don't get me wrong, there's definitely stuff on YouTube like Markiplier, in other words, otherwise do like full sketches that look really well and well done, but for most of the point, I already lost it.
Most people are just throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks on YouTube.
Yeah, and it's hard to like put like high quality film together. So I guess what I was trying to really get at is that doing something that like is elaborate in story, in world, and converting that to cinema is so fucking hard, And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of AAA movies nowadays go for the low-bearing fruit, because it is incredibly difficult to make something. Like, as you know, there's a phrase, there's the movie you write, the movie you shoot, and the movie you edit, and that's like almost biblical in like the movie industry, just because that's how it is, right?
Yeah, everything constantly changes.
There's so much involved, right? So I get it when movies and AAA studios go for low bearing fruit, but that means at the same time we get more mediocre movies, Well,
I also have this theory, and hear me out. I'll give one exception to it, maybe two. But if you're going to make a film version of a video game, I think you got to go series. I think you can't go movie.
Yeah, TV would be better.
Think about it. Last of Us series, phenomenal.
Agreed.
But Uncharted movie, it was okay. There's too much Nathan Drake and not enough of it to make one movie. You need you need more time for Nathan Drake. Yeah. Like I think. Fallout, their show's coming out in a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really interested to see where Fallout goes.
Yeah.
But, a lot of, like, Five Nights at Freddy's, like, not a good movie. Maybe better if it would have been a show, some sort. But, like, with video games, I think that there's just so much more world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong.
Because it's like, I'm trying to make this story last 100+ hours, not 2. You know what I'm saying? Like so when you try to translate something like The Witcher, which is a fucking 130-hour game, you couldn't do that into a movie. It has to be a series.
It would have to be like either a trilogy, like Lord of the Rings, or
a
fucking TV show.
Yeah.
And then the trilogy in Lord of the Rings cut out a lot of shit still in the original books.
Even the director's cut still has a lot missing.
Yeah,
and, like,
dude.
Those are fucking all like an hour and a half.
There's so much.
They're like an hour and a half longer per movie.
I think every extended edition is about almost 4 hours long.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more.
Well, yeah, I think, what was it, the last movie is like a collective 9 or something like that if you watch everything.
Yeah, let's see.
9
here.
hours for the third movie. And I'll watch every fucking minute of it.
Yeah,
I'll watch every goddamn minute of 9 hours of Lord of the Rings.
Edition. Well, I know. I think it's like 4 and 5 hours, but then that's not including all the behind the scenes stuff too. If you end up watching that stuff.
No, I think like they had like for just the third one. I think that there was like a fucking straight up like 4-hour DLC to that movie when they made the special edition. Like.
Oh yeah, that'd be that one's news to me. I had no idea for sure on that one. I had the extended editions box, that has the basically an extra hour to 2 hours for each one. But of course, the internet is betraying me right now and not giving me proper. Just tell me the fucking length of each one. God damn it!
I'm seeing 3 hours and 20 minutes, 4 hours and 14. If you got the extended edition,
yeah,
that makes sense. 4 hours and 10. I thought it was longer than that. Maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe it was something like
the overall, like, if you watch all three, is 11 hours, right?
Yeah.
Like, the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
So that's why it takes just under 12 hours.
683 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, yep.
For the extended. 558 minutes for the theatrical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, and that's just the fucking
That's a whole
movies.
movie.
Like, so, because I'm ultra nerd, and we do annual... Lord of the Rings watch parties and shit, and just hang out and fucking be fat and shit, But, anyways,
my one exception though,
okay.
Mario. I think Mario was good enough to just be a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's been shows, but I don't think Mario was so in depth as a character from before versus something like Geralt from The Witcher.
Yeah,
that a movie was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need that to be a series. Like. The movie was exactly what it needed it to be.
Yeah.
Introduce everybody. Bowser steals Peach.
Yeah, Mario doesn't really have an expansive world, There's lots of things that he's done, but they're not really like, it's usually like this movie, this thing happened, go save that person, and then the adventure to go save that person.
Yeah, like Last of Us. That couldn't have been a movie because there's just too much.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been good.
Right.
They would have, I think they really would have screwed the pooch, and I think Last of Us could potentially be the new Walking Dead if done right.
Also speaking of Last of Us, I think
it was so good.
I can't remember if they were like the ones. How Game of Thrones had every certain amount of episodes they had different directors. I think it was.
Oh, okay.
They swapped them out, right? So they'd be this core team that's always on the same page, but they'd have different director or producer for each like several sets of episodes.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
How much of it?
All of it.
Oh, you saw like all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. How long was that?
Yeah. 7 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's worth it. It's super fucking good. Up until the last 2 seasons, which is where they caught up to the books essentially, and there was this whole people made excuses for why it was bad or why it wasn't, and blah 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is they caught up to the end of the books, right? And they had to interpret based off of what George R. R. Martin told them.
Yeah.
And they made it, right? And beyond just the story choices, which I have huge issue with, right? And more specifically with Daenerys, but their production faults, like they made some bad mistakes. There was a couple episodes where they just didn't have enough light, or they didn't have enough, they didn't brighten it enough in post, or whatever their decision was. It just the final image was way too dark for hell of people. I can't remember what episodes, but there's like 2 or 3 episodes where you can barely see anything in certain scenes. Because it's so fucking dark. Like it was almost like. This was a mistake that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, not necessarily a creative choice, but
yeah, there's mistakes that AAA studios make, like simple oopsies, like a Starbucks cup, or whatever the fuck in the background, or little miscellaneous stuff. But there's certain mistakes that I think that really make films feel tacky or feel like not professional.
Yeah.
And lighting is one of them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they had big issues with that. So hearsay, right? Great series up into those last 2 seasons. Then it kind of just, if you watch it, it's worth it. It really is, even with those last 2 seasons. Just be prepared for kind of not a great ending.
Yeah.
So,
It's
but
like almost like just kill it at 6.
yeah. 1 through 5 is
I've been
10 out of 10. Prime
I've been
TV.
getting back into like watching like movies and series television again. Because I've been watching podcasts for the last 6 years. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my media. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll watch a movie in theater or like, on a date or something. But other than that, like when I wake up, podcast. While I'm working, podcast. Like when I come home, YouTube podcast. Like, I don't know. I think I listen to so many of them that it's enough to consume all of my intake
Right.
when it comes to media. Like,
Right.
Like I've got enough podcasts that all the free time I have to be listening to something they can take up. But lately I've been like, all right, well let me watch a movie. Like,
No, I feel that.
Like I'll throw on a 3-hour podcast, no problem. But every now and then I'm like, I can commit to a 2-hour movie. Like let's watch something we haven't seen yet. And then I started watching like shows again now recently. Like I just watched Reacher.
Oh, Reacher's great.
Reacher's great.
Yeah.
I liked
The actor's fucking perfect.
I loved him in Blue Mountain State. I forgot what his actual name is,
I don't
but
remember.
in Blue Mountain State his name's Thad Castle. And he's
Nice.
the captain of the football team. And,
Hell yeah. He's a big dude.
he's fucking
huge.
And then Reacher, love it so far. I was disappointed. I didn't know that the season 2 wasn't over yet. So I didn't know that I was catching up to a show.
Oh, sure.
Which I don't typically like doing.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of what's going to happen next Thursday?
Yeah, I hate that shit too.
You can
Yeah.
eat my balls. I'll wait 6 months and not watch your shit and wait.
Yep. All at once, yeah, please.
But caught up to it. Great show. Great show. I think I might try Jack Ryan, the one with John Krasinski next.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy one. Because I like John Krasinski. He's a handsome young fella. Charismatic. Everybody liked. Who didn't like The Office?
Have you seen? It's not a TV show; it's a movie. Have you seen Nobody?
Yes.
That's a great one.
That was a really good movie.
That was what prompted me just looking for shit and going, "What's this?" And then like, "Holy fuck, this is awesome!" I love doing that shit.
I was surprisingly not very enthused. I finally got to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I haven't seen that one.
I was really excited for that movie. And it's not that it was bad, but
It wasn't what you thought it was.
it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Like I'm such a fan of Tarantino, and it has a pretty good Tarantino ending, as they all do.
Yes.
Every Tarantino movie
What a
ends-
twist! Yeah.
It all ends the same with a bloodbath. It's supposed to. But and I like Brad Pitt. I like Leonardo DiCaprio. And it wasn't even a bad movie, but it was just like it's not From Dusk Till Dawn. It's not Four Rooms. Like it's not leaving an impression on me like other Tarantino movies have. Like Django. Who can't fucking think of Django?
Right.
You watch Django
Dude,
once,
so
that's with you for
good,
life.
bro. So good.
That's one of those
I mean,
movies you just don't get to forget.
I can't remember the other guy's name, but Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
The other guy. I can't remember his name.
I don't remember his name, but he's been in a bunch of shit too.
Jamie was amazing, but the duo between those two was
Oh, yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Like I argue that on both sides, if it wasn't one or the other, it might not have worked as well.
Yeah.
Like their synergy was amazing, bro. Like it
and
was so good.
Leo, always fun
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah.
And then Samuel Jackson.
Leo always knocks everything out of the park,
Yeah,
dude.
and Samuel Jackson's just also one of those characters
Yeah.
that as soon as you put him on the screen, that scene's great.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's definitely. I never really thought about it, but they had like 4 or 5 fucking big movie stars as their
Yeah. They
like,
always do.
It's not
'cause
very common.
Everybody's gonna want to work with Tarantino though.
Right.
That's like the big thing. Is
Right.
like he's just one of those guys like you just want to be on one of his projects because there isn't too many, and he's so prolific and
Yeah.
definitely gonna go down forever in cinema. So he's just one of those guys like if anybody ever hasn't, like I think a big goal obviously is like you should see one Quentin Tarantino movie
Yeah,
in theaters.
yeah.
Any of them, it doesn't matter which one, but at least once, because he's just
They're an
genius.
experience.
He's a fucking genius.
Yeah, the thing is too. What I think makes him a genius is that he has a unique like footprint.
Yeah.
Like he has unique like movie making style, right?
Yes.
And I think that's the ultimate goal for
And he
any
doesn't.
fucking movie maker.
Not only that, but he doesn't bend.
Right.
He doesn't bend and break. He's no one's bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not having that. He doesn't care about cancel culture.
No.
He doesn't care if you're the one who's funding this project and you don't like the words he's saying.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, no, we're making the movie that we're trying to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he just won't take that shit. And
Yeah.
like I'm sure that's got to be so horrifying but awesome to work with.
Yeah, well, I honestly respect him more than anything. I respect him for that same attitude, but for like if it's going to be a bomb, it's going to be a bomb, but we're going to do it the way that we have it visualized right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like that I respect more than anything, you know, because that's a movie maker in my mind.
Also,
you know, that's somebody who's like, hey, like this might not work it, but we're going to fucking finish it and then start the next thing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and
fuck
the balls to write a movie in modern times that has the N word like 145 times in it.
Yeah, for real.
It's pretty fucking
yeah.
wow, dude. Like those slave movies that were coming out in that time weren't saying that as much. But that's Django, you know, or that's Tarantino, really. I mean, one I would imagine very accurate. You know, considering how much I say it right now behind closed doors, I couldn't imagine if it was just part of the lexicon. You know, everybody was just saying the N word all the time.
Right.
Holy fuck, it'd be every other word you said. God damn it. Like,
dude,
it wouldn't even have to do with black people.
it's so funny
It's
too.
just one of those you get to say it now.
I remember watching that. There's like a really popular short of Jamie Foxx fucking talking about Leo having a problem with dropping the N-bomb, you know, and saying because he had so many times he had to say it in his fucking.
He's looking at Jamie Foxx and Sam
right?
Jackson.
Yeah. And he's like, I just had a hard time saying it. You know what I'm saying? You know, and he was talking to Samuel L. Jackson at the point, right?
Yeah.
And I guess he just told
Say
him,
it.
no, he just told him, get the fuck over it, motherfucker. You know, I'm just another fucking slave, motherfucker. This is another Tuesday, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, like just being in character, but like telling him to get over it, right? And the next day, I guess Leo would walk into set, and Jamie was like, "What's up, buddy?" You know, and then Leo would just pretend he wasn't there, like he was furniture. You know, like from then on. Full on method acting like became his character.
Oh
you
my
know,
God,
like there was like a short of that of him talking about that floating around somewhere.
Yeah. Imagine like being Leo in that moment though, where you have two ripped, almost naked black dudes fighting on the living room floor as you're explaining the difference in Negro skulls versus white people's skulls to Sam Jackson and Jamie.
My God,
that'd be pretty
bro.
acting or not. Fuck me, dude. Like, that'd be such an uncomfortable situation. Like, Jesus
I know,
Christ.
for real.
He's got Jamie Foxx all happy and shit looking at you.
Yeah. You don't know if he's gonna kill you or
I
not.
don't want to break
you know?
this guy's heart. I love this guy.
Yeah, dude.
Samuel Jackson fucking just screaming in his head. Oh my God. But no, that movie took a lot of fucking balls. But yeah, Leo definitely kicks it out of the park. And I thought Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it was okay.
Yeah.
It just wasn't what I was hoping for. It's kind of like the Hateful Eight. Like, I don't know if you've seen the Hateful Eight, but that one's, you got to give it to Tarantino for his dialogue, but 5 hours of it is fucking rough.
Yeah, dude, like there's certain movies that again, like he's taken L's on, you know?
Yeah.
But that's never stopped him. Like,
No, and it shouldn't.
For all of his other bullshit that he's done, you know, like because he has like stolen material from like I think I don't know how true that is, but there was stuff going around about how he took material for Monster House or something from college kids. Like it was a script for that. I was from a college somewhere. I don't fucking know. Anyways, I don't know the details on it. You probably can look it up and figure it out for yourself if you care enough. But anyways, point being, like a lot of the movies nowadays, when we first started this conversation, I guess like my issue is I don't like AAA's. They don't take risks anymore, I guess is the best way I can describe it. You know,
Yeah,
like
they
don't, you know, and they literally can't. And because there's so much fear behind it now too, you know, because there's some scenarios where I've watched studios shoot themselves in the foot over and over again, rather than just save up and spend the time and take a risk on something, you know, like they just continually keep shooting themselves in the foot over and over again, you know. Like
it's also weird because like if you go to a movie theater, it'll be like one AAA movie, a rom-com, and then like 8 things you've never heard of before.
Yeah.
Like at any given time in any given city, it's like, what are most of these?
Yeah.
You know, it's not the same as it used to be. Like it used to be like you show up to the theater and you actually knew like almost everything that was playing.
Right, you know, and then like Marvel, I think I don't want to blame Marvel, but
everybody is though. Fuck
they
her.
did kind of
them.
make a huge splash in the scene and made it's weird because they were so successful that it made it almost the only way to make movies, you know?
Well, yeah, why would I make a rom-com that sells, you know, for $15 million when I can make Thor and have him fall in love and make $150 million?
Right, exactly.
Why make a comedian comedy movie about a buddy comedy.
Yeah.
When I can just give Thor Krog and make him make Thor have some quippy jokes every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm making a comedy movie too. They literally just they took every genre and they gently put it into Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
That way now it's just like, no, there's romance in Marvel movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, there's comedy's already there. We have the dark part. We have the twists. Like anything else, you're not gonna make 1% of what we're gonna make.
So why bother?
So don't fucking make it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, 10 years ago there was a new comedy movie every week. Last year I think there was 2.
Yeah.
That hit theaters.
Yeah,
there was
dude,
like 2 comedies that hit theaters last year.
It's so sad, dude.
Because it's just like there's no point. There's no money in it. It's not worth the risk anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's just people probably aren't going to watch it.
Yeah, people aren't really making upstairs. I should say are not really making movies for the sake of cinema anymore.
Yeah,
And
then the ones that they are, like this new generation. Like I watched The Creator. I didn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I could have given a fuck. I watched the whole thing too. I did not give a fuck about that movie.
I haven't heard about that one.
Everybody hyped up that movie like it was going to be like the next thing. Like it was supposed to be like the next District 9. One of those movies that like the whole world's going to know about. Like people who haven't even seen District 9, they know
heard about
they've
it.
heard of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's and The Creator just was dog shit.
I'd never heard of this shit.
It was dog shit. It was Terminator 4 mixed with like the Book of Eli. It was dog shit.
Oh, Book of Eli was good too.
It was, but it was dog shit. It's just like a hood black dude trying to save a little Thai kid that's half computer. And it's
okay.
like, fuck me, dude. Like, how many times have I seen this spilled across the fucking movie screen over and over and over again? Some dude probably shouldn't have children saving a child.
Right.
They don't like them in the beginning.
And
Eventually they grow to love them.
Yep.
Then the child's supposed to be sacrificed, but now they can't let that child die. Boo the fuck who, move on, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's all of them.
Yep.
Like it's
Yep.
just it was just another one of those. And like I remember people were like just blowing dick at the theater. Like I heard some guy like, this is gonna be like the movie of 2023. I finally watched it the other day. I was like, this is dog shit. It's all dog shit, dude. They fucking suck.
That
like,
sucks, dude.
Like I don't know
That's
if
lame.
I don't know if it's my taste. I mean, I'm only 30. I'm not a fucking 90-year-old. You know what I'm saying? I know hood words.
Yes.
You know, I wear Crocs.
Yes.
I've heard.
Crocs.
Yeah. I've done some bipping and splashing
Bippin'.
in my day. I understand the culture and the youth, but fuck me, dude. I don't. A lot of these movies suck. I just think they suck, and I'm not even like an edgelord or whatever that is. I just
Whatever that is.
so many of these movies just compared to what we used to be on the screen suck a lot of dick. Remember how exciting a Transformers movie used to be?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. People were gathering, you know what I'm saying? Like selling out.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Oppenheimer and Barbie was like the last big thing that happened in the
I
theater.
didn't really watch either.
I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet. I trapped Bubbles to watch Barbie the other day.
Nice.
It was awesome. It was the
Nice.
perfect plan. This is what I did, bro. We're in the garage. I see Barbie streaming for free on Prime or whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw it with my girl, so I've already seen Barbie, and I liked it. So I was like, oh, Barbie's free. I'm going to watch that shit again. But I look over at Bubbles, and I was like, there's no way. So what I did was I was like, hey, bro, you hungry? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, you want Taco Bell? He's like, yeah, Taco Bell. So then I door dashed us Taco Bell. And as soon as I hit place order, turned on the Barbie movie.
You can't
go nowhere, bro.
He's
He's
waiting
got-
for his food.
And I paid for that food, so
Yeah.
you're not going to fucking hide and then come out like a gremlin and walk
Right.
away with it.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
You're watching this fucking movie with me now, bitch.
That's funny. It's clever. It's clever.
Yeah.
It's clever, man.
Got his ass. And we got to watch Barbie together, which I thought was really good. I thought it was funny.
I've heard both movies are great.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly.
I've heard the other ends of those reviews too. And if you didn't like Barbie, I can't hate on it. If you didn't like Oppenheimer, I also can't hate on it. But I liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought Michael Cera's refreshing as the only like Alan in the Barbie world. Like it's all Barbies and Kens, right? Like so it's supposed to be like a country Barbie land. So you have every Barbie that's ever been made and every Ken that's ever been made, but they're people. And so every dude is Ken. And every chick is Barbie, and then Michael Cera's Alan. There's just one spin-off doll that never got made again.
Huh.
So Michael Cera was like perfect for that role, dude.
That's
like,
funny.
The only guy that's not a Ken is this
Yeah.
soft, weak Alan.
Yeah.
Give it to him. And then Will Ferrell's really funny in that movie.
Will's in it. Dope.
Yeah. He doesn't do too much, but he's very refreshing. And then Margot Robbie she shows her feet so many times.
Oh, why?
It's just it made the movie, dude. Like,
Why?
what are you talking about? You don't like feet?
No.
What?
Not like that.
You don't like feet like that at all?
Not like that at all, no.
Oh, man, I do.
They're feet.
Yeah, they are.
They walk on the ground.
Oh, yeah, they do.
In mud and dirt. And, oh, my God. Anyways.
Part of the 3 T's. Teeth, titties, and toes.
Teeth, titties, and toes.
Are her teeth good? Are them titties good? How them toes look? The peep toes. Do they got jam and bunions and shit?
You know,
I ain't fucking with her.
Titties are nice, but, I think ass gets more mileage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I've always been an ass guy, but the 3 T's just rolls off the tongue so nice.
Oh, man, but I'm gonna reuse that ass gets mileage now, though, dude.
But yeah, I mean,
man.
There's a couple scenes where she shows her feet pretty well, because she loses the ability. She starts walking flat foot for like a second. So I was like, damn, this reminds me of that fat pedophile from Nickelodeon that was always making Miranda Cosgrove short feet.
What the fuck?
You know that fat fucking
yes,
pedophile.
yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
right
he was
now.
he was the director or whatever the fuck for iCarly.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and he was the cook in the owner in Good Burger, the restaurant owner
of the Good Burger.
And then he was in all that, and he produced tons of Nickelodeon shows. I just can't remember his fat name. But he was always having like kids show their feet and like
fucking.
In auditions, you would take your socks and shoes off and then go into the room to talk to them.
That's weird.
Yeah, he'd have like little feet parties where everybody
feet parties.
All the kids got to take their socks and shoes off in the room and wiggle toes at No, that's weird. Kid feet?
Fucking, yeah, dude.
Not only was he into
it's
feet,
weird.
not only was he into feet, he was into kid feet.
No.
No.
No,
kid foot probably.
No, we're not. We're not. Nope.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We probably shouldn't get down there.
Oh, okay. Anyways, let's segue back to Netflix and shit. What else have you been watching? Shut the fuck up, no, you won't.
I watched.
I'll beat that shit out of you, bro.
I watched. What's that stupid movie? Good Burger 2.
There's a Good Burger 2?
Came out last year.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They gave Kel like 11 children.
Is it the original Kel?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Original Keenan, original Kel.
Dope.
A lot of references to the first movie.
Of course, gotta.
And I think somebody else was in it. There's a cameo by Dex or whatever, the little white guy, the spastic one.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember who you're talking about.
Yeah, because he was part of all that too. I just can't remember his name.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
He gets like a quick cameo. Carmen Electra also does another cameo as Roxanne.
Cool.
Yeah, and they give Keenan Kel. He has like a son that works at Good Burger with him, and he's just like him. And then they go to like his house, and he's got like
kind of cute
7 kids, and they're all dressed.
Holy shit!
They're all in the Good Burger uniform.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and he named them like the Doors, so it's like Sneezy.
Oh my fucking
cries
god.
a lot, like shit like that.
That's good.
He's just like he's fucking full retard still, but
Classic.
he's like 50 now.
Classic.
Yeah, and the Good Burger mobile's still in it, and like. They did the thing where they deliver to the celebrity. Remember, like they did the Shaq one, but this time they do it for Lizzo.
Okay, nice.
Or Doja Cat, one of them.
Somebody.
But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of like nods and hat tips to the original, with just some silly like we're still around shit.
Okay.
Almost the same plot, even too. Instead of Mondo Burger, it's another burger shop, and the chick who's trying to open it is the guy from Mondo Burger's older sister.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. The guy was always like, I'm going to put you in the grind. Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
It was silly. I mean, it definitely wasn't. I don't want to say it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But it's Good Burger.
Sure.
So it's not supposed to be good.
No.
You're not supposed to go to Good Burger for a cinematic experience.
No.
It's not
it's
supposed
its
to.
own like genre. The way it's made is its own style.
Like I hated the creator because people were saying this is like supposed to be a cinematic masterpiece, and I don't agree.
Right.
I don't go into Good Burger thinking that I'm going to be
cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even going into Good Burger thinking this is going to be good.
Sure.
It was really just like, oh, they made another
could
one?
be bad, but
Fuck it.
that's okay.
Fuck it. Let's see what they did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also it was a movie that was spawned out of a kids' TV show that was supposed to be like this, like live-ish
a
thing.
skit in a show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
it was just a weird skit, segment in a skit show. Yeah.
Those kind of things, it's like acceptable that they become movies because they're birthed out of something smaller. You know. Versus somebody just coming along going, hey, like this thing made a lot of money. Let's fucking make Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
And just for no reason, you know.
I think we're at the point now where like, because they've always been shoving our youth back at us since we've since we've been
nostalgia.
Born. Like since nostalgia. But now it's getting to the point where I think a huge part of the demographic of people like us are at the point where they have kids. And they're trying to show their kids what they grew up on. Mm-hmm. So this is the time where it's like, 30 years later is like, let's start making all the, he's an adult and he has a kid. So that way dad is going to want to go take his son to go see the new Toy Story where Andy's 40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But fuck, what was it? Even in Toy Story 3, they timed it perfectly. Like, he's 18.
They're doing it on purpose.
We're 18. He's 18.
Doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Like, that's what I felt about Good Burger 2. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like another one of those silly like. I watched this as a little boy and thought it was funny and stupid. Now I'm gonna show it to my son, and he's gonna think it's funny and stupid. And Kel has his son that's funny and stupid. Like it's totally a grab for that, you know. Mm-hmm. But I mean, they got me anyway. Fucking why not? I'll watch. I'll watch Nickelodeon.
Yeah. There's certain stuff that get a pass for sure.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen Black Mirror?
No, I've heard so much about Black Mirror.
You should watch Black Mirror. Black Mirror is an interesting story. It gives you different perspectives in what is like telling a story.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, and then also they just fuck with like what if scenarios and concepts and stuff like shit like that, like psychological concepts and whatnot. You know, and I believe Black Mirror is the one that's episodic because I've only seen a couple episodes, but the ones that I recall that I'm seeing images in my head right now. I'm hoping they're the right movie. You know, but like one of them was like there was a gal that there was like social credit was a thing in the world, and your social status was basically your currency, you know, and it was following her and her plummet into madness and just a bad day and losing currency and stuff. Like there'd be a thing where she'd be like rude to somebody, you know, because she's just something bad happened to her, right? And then somebody kind of frowns at them and then I can't remember if it was like they thumb them down or they do something, but she loses points, right? Which is her currency for living, right? And it kind of explores her eventually going down and crazy. And what I liked about Black Mirror is that you can never predict the ending, you know?
Yeah.
Like to a degree. Some of it you can kind of follow to, you know, but you can never truly fully predict the ending. And I think that was refreshing for me to like see.
Yeah.
So you probably would like Black Mirror. Honestly,
I've heard only really good things about it.
Yeah, Squid Game's good too.
I heard Squid Game. I mean, it must have been right. It was so big.
Squid Game was because it was different. Again, you know, like that's why it was big. It was well shot. It was well made, and it was different.
Well, in this day and age, there's not a lot of different.
You know, yeah, exactly.
There's really not like we were talking about earlier. Quentin Tarantino maybe stole or plagiarized. It's like all art these days is
stolen and plagiarized to some degree.
It's all inspired off something else you saw 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. You know, then to say it's not would just be to lie, and that's true plagiarism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to try to tell me Tommy Boy didn't inspire that one, eat a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking lie to us.
Yeah.
Now you're really stealing.
Yeah.
But speaking of just kind of stealing, so, you know, we were talking about Bubbles the Exterminator, the Bubsinator.
The Bubsinator.
And, you know, coming to people's houses with like a sharpened square shovel to put down their animals.
Yeah.
I was driving
Christ.
a couple days ago, and I see this little sign. And the first time I read it, I don't believe what I read. You know what I'm saying? Like
okay.
It's not that I read it wrong. It's that I don't believe that I just read those words. And then the guy got away from me, so I had to I literally drove the wrong way, actually, to be honest with you, to catch back up to this guy.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to read the sign again. And I was fucking right. It was just a little pickup truck, and on the back there was a big sign, peaceful pet passing.
What?
Yeah, so you can hire people to, like certified vets and shit
Yeah.
to come kill your dog at the house.
Huh.
Or your like cat or bird or whatever. So like, you know, because like, I mean, my experience growing up,
Take it to the vet.
well, yeah, my dad would be like, say goodbye to the dog, and then you go to the vet, and they fucking, you hug it one last time, they hit it with the needle, and it goes to bed.
Yep.
But I guess, like, yeah, I guess it's kind of normal. Like, you can have them come kill them in the living room, which I wouldn't, I don't think I'd want to do that. Like my coworker was telling me about, he did it with his dog, and he was like, yeah, we did that with my dog. Like, he got to die in his bed, surrounded by loved ones in the whatever hall. Like, everybody was there, and I was like, one seems like a lot for a dog, because I don't think the dog understands the moment like we do. But two, fucking, the dog died in the house. That's kind of shitty and gross. I'd rather the death part not happen in the house.
Sure.
Only the life part.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't born in the fucking house.
Sure.
Doesn't need to die in there either.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like the idea of it being dead in the house and then having to be like, all right, we're done. Scoop it up. Get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, that's gross.
Yeah, when you say it that way, yeah.
I'd rather just be able to walk on. Like,
Yeah, I mean, what do? You just bury it afterwards, I guess?
I mean, if you want to be those
in your
people, yeah.
backyard, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
See that feels weird.
Yeah.
The whole like passing, I guess, peaceful at home. Sure, I could get it, I guess.
yeah, for
you
a
know?
human. But,
Right.
yeah, you know.
But I mean, I guess I can get it for a dog too. Like, I'm not gonna say I would just take my dog to the vet, you know.
Yeah.
But what weirds me out more than anything is like, what do you do with the body afterwards? Like, you
Yeah,
can't
dude,
just
and,
keep
like-
it, you know.
And, like, burying anything, like, it's hilarious
Yeah.
because one day somebody's going to own your property in the future and they're going to be rototilling and find, like, an old Labrador skeleton.
Yeah,
know what I'm
that'd be
saying? Like,
wild.
Oh, my God, dinosaur bones.
Yeah.
That was Fifi.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
I mean, like, I wonder how many people have done that. Because, like, everyone's buried a pet goldfish or something, or lots of people have at least, right?
Yeah,
you know, and I like a lizard too. I've heard pet lizards get buried because right?
Yeah.
They deteriorate easy.
We buried
right?
my ex-roommate's fucking Xbox because it gave him so many good years.
That's a real funeral right
we
there.
did have a
I
funeral.
bet you fucking cried for that,
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
you know,
I'm sure they found it when they fucking dug up the yard, too.
We're all black and shit, you know.
Yeah. They probably found that and a broken lawn gnome that we buried.
With it?
No, separately. That was a different funeral.
Just for fun. What the
That
fuck?
was well, we liked that gnome a lot. Yeah.
It
It was a shame when he broke it.
That's hella funny.
Mr. Papadopoulos.
Oh,
He
my
was very
God.
Greek.
Oh, wow. That was quite the name.
He was a Greek gnome.
Oh,
He was a
okay.
Greek gnome.
All right. Can you say that again?
Norman Papadopoulos.
Oh.
One
more time?
Papadopoulos. Trust me, bro. That was the name.
I'm
That's why I could say it like
I'm so
that.
impressed.
The only reason I could say that so fluently is because he was a character in our lives.
Damn, dude.
He was a real part of our lives.
We got Pop and Gorgonspiegel's and fucking all these other Jesus,
That was a
dude.
wordsmith.
Hey, you ever think about naming something Tim?
Tim?
Just
Be a good name for a bird.
Something fucking easy.
It'd be a cool name for a cockatiel named Tim.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's up, Tim?
And he's doing the mohawk thing and he's headbanging.
Yeah.
What's
Fuck
up?
yeah. I love it when they did that shit.
Yeah.
When they like rocking out and stuff.
Oh
and
my God.
They got the tall fucking pompadour looking thing, basically.
Bro, so Bubbles has been on Animal Watch for the last week.
Animal Watch? What the fuck do you mean Animal Watch?
So at the Thunderdome,
The Thunderdome.
which is Tommy, the other retard's house.
Tommy.
Apparently Tommy had a lot of animals. I had no idea.
Oh, and so Bubbles, the Bubsinators on Neighborhood Watch.
Yeah, because Tommy's in Reno for 2.5 3 weeks. So Bubbles has been in charge of the animals.
Yeah.
And it's a bird, a turtle, a cat, and 2 dogs. And they used to race pigeons when we were kids. So
What the fuck?
luckily
dude?
they don't have all the pigeons
the
anymore.
Fuck, dude.
And so Bubbles has been in charge of going over there and feeding them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, all of those animals,
I'll tell you what.
it's almost like they put him on a game show to lose weight, I bet. Because, he's not very good at feeding or remembering them or taking care of them.
Yeah.
And it's been too long since Tommy left. It's so funny, dude. I almost have to remind him now, daily, hey, don't kill the animals.
Please.
Can you go over there and feed them?
Yeah.
Once. This is how he thinks that this is supposed to go down. Day one, right? And this was 2 weeks ago. He comes home and I was like, did you feed all the animals? He's like, yeah. I was like, you got the dogs, bird, cat, turtle? He's like, yeah. I was like, did you wash your hands before feeding the turtle after the bird? so you don't get the fucking bird E. coli? He's like, yes. I was like, all right, cool. Because I knew the instructions. Because somebody.
But did he though?
No.
There's no way he
No,
did.
he's probably killed that bird, honestly.
Yeah,
I think he's lying to me and he says the bird's alive.
Yeah.
I think either the bird or turtle is dead. And he's just not saying anything.
Oh my God.
But he comes home. I was like, so what'd you do with all the animals? He's like, they're all in their cages. I was like, you put the dogs in their cages? He's like, yeah. I was like, Bubbles, it's like noon.
Yeah.
How long do you plan on keeping the dogs in the
cages?
In the cages?
Yeah.
I was like, the whole time. I was like, no. You go ahead and stand your happy ass up.
Yeah.
Walk back over there and free the fucking dog.
Yeah.
I can't believe you thought that.
You piece of shit.
In his
mind.
mind,
Oh my God, dude.
In his mind, if he lets the dog out of the crate, then it has open area to just shit and piss all over the house. You don't leave the dog in the crate for 26 hours at a time.
No.
Yeah, and then he'll wake up at like noon. He's supposed to feed them twice a day.
Yeah.
He'll wake up at like noon, stroll over there, feed them, and then feed them again at like 3. And then that's their twice a day, right?
What the fuck?
And then he'll say shit like, as soon as I got there, like they had a full bowl already, but as soon as I got there, they ate the whole thing. And I was like, yeah, because they don't know when you're coming back, dude.
Yeah.
They're scared to eat. They don't know that resources will ever happen again. You've actually tricked these animals to not eat their own food.
Yeah. Or they know that he's going to come back soon, so they just wait till he shows up and then they eat what's there so they don't like lose out on food, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's what I think it is. I think they're rationing.
Yeah.
I think they're going, I don't know when he's coming back. And then he's like, oh, he's back. Fill the bowl again, please, God. Please, God. Yes, I'm hungry. Please.
Feed me. Yeah. I mean, Bubbles is a good example of why, if people ever wonder why or how folks can like abuse animals and like do stupid shit, it's just because they don't think about it that way.
No, and he's, being...
There's no connection there.
Yeah, and it's an autism thing. It's not a character thing.
No.
Like, it's not like he goes, fuck them, they can die. Like,
right.
no, it's a registry. It's not there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with humans. Like, he's always going to think about himself first. Now, I don't know a person that's selfish because we have the ability to, after that thought, go, okay, but this is what I'll really do.
Sure, yeah.
We all think, like, I want to cut that guy off. We all think I want the last slice of pizza. We all think, everything should be mine. But at the same time, then you stop and you go, this is not how this all works, though. If we want everything to move together, maybe I'll get behind this guy and let him go first. Maybe he can have the last slice of pizza. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like I don't need to be the guy on top all day, every day, in every situation, because that's how you get murdered by everybody around you. For him, it's just not there. Like, he thinks that first thought, and the second thought never happens. It just goes, I'm getting that pizza.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck that dog.
Go for that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to go back into my bed, so this counts as you being fed twice.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn it, Bubbles. Go back over there. And like, I've actually had to use the phrase, it's not their fault that they're alive. Okay? I'm sorry that they're alive. Treat them that way.
Yeah.
Please, God.
Yeah.
Go over there, spin around in circles, let the dogs out, pet them twice, and come home. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Please, God, dude.
Like leave them out in the outside for a little bit to roam around or something.
I'm sure they've gotten no sun. Those dogs have gotten no sun since that Tommy left.
Yeah. It's wild to think that Tommy is more functioning than Bubbles is.
Yeah, but he's a seizure tart. So where Bubbles doesn't really have that problem, Bubbles is just kind of flat useless across the gate.
Yeah.
Tommy's very useful, but then he has seizures and he's fucked. So like he'll have like he'll get a job and he'll hold it down and then he'll have a really bad seizure and he can't work for like a couple months again. So like
that sucks.
He tries a lot more than Bubbles is, but his deficiencies challenge him in his own ways.
That sucks as fuck though.
I think he's clearly more motivated. He has a child, which I think is...
That's insane, dude.
Which I think, I don't know.
I know we talked about that last
Somebody got raped. Maybe even him. You know what I'm saying? Should he be able to consent? I don't know.
Well, is the mom involved at all?
I've never seen her. Oh, wait, like his mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still around. She lives in... his parents live in Reno, and they owned the house that he's in, or they still do. Yeah. But they're taking care of, I think, their parents, and that's why Tommy lives alone in the Thunderdome. But the Thunderdome's paid for by the parents. It's not like Tommy's like 100% got that all under control himself.
That's crazy. Yeah, and then the mom of the kid, though, also is not. You haven't seen her, you said?
I've never met her. I know that she's around, clearly, because he doesn't always have the kid.
Oh, okay. That's good.
The kid also has a bunch of seizures and
I was going to say,
some problems as well.
Do you think the wife or whatever the fuck you want to call her is also potentially handicapped in some form?
I'd hope so.
Because that would, I guess, make more sense.
Because fuck me to be the one normal one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
That would suck.
I think that apple fell off the top branch and got skewered by another branch on the way down. That didn't even leave the tree. That girl's retarded. Yeah. And she's got the seizures and stuff. It's sad.
Yeah.
But it's also weird to see one raising another one. Because you almost feel like somebody else should be getting involved. You know, like if Bubbles had a kid and his mom was dead, I feel like I would either be raising that kid or calling child services.
Yeah,
I don't see me just being like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea," and then leaving it alone.
Right, yeah.
I don't care how much he loves that fucking kid.
Like the kid's gonna die at one point.
Both
probably.
of them. Fuck.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jesus Christ,
that's fair.
He'll starve to death not feeding himself to feed the kid, maybe, and then the kid will starve to death afterwards.
Yikes, dude!
But I think more likely he'd probably let the kid starve to death first, because he won't see the signs. He won't recognize that the kid's like dying.
Yeah. The fuck, dude, that's crazy.
It's like, I don't know, buddy. He just said he was really hungry.
There was
It's like, yeah, you didn't feed him, Bubs.
Idiot.
You fucking asshole.
There's a video, like a little mini documentary I saw of like different wild people just doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And there's a couple that was very much like that. They were both clearly handicapped, you know.
Yeah.
And then just had a baby and literally just let it die. You know, it became frail and shit, and like malnourished, like, oh fuck.
Well,
dude.
yeah, like in those dating shows, like Love on the Spectrum and shit, and they get two of them to finally like marry each other, and they're like, "What about kids?"
No.
And as the viewer, I'm like, no, don't. Like, there's sometimes like you'll hear two Down syndrome like on a show like that, two DS people be like, "Yeah, we're gonna get married and have children," and you're like. Fucking yikes! No, you won't.
You probably shouldn't.
Yeah,
dude.
I'll be standing there with a fucking garbage can lid and a fucking sharpened trenching tool, getting ready to fucking take care of that thing.
Oh, bro, dude, and you know that there's somebody out there is like freaking the fuck out because there's like that's like I don't know rights or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but it's like, dude, like, is it fair to be making another human with the very high possibility they will come out like not functioning as a normal person? They'll be handicapped, right? And like whether you like it or not, that person is 100% not going to have as efficient life as like somebody who is not handicapped.
True.
Just period, right? Even poverty and all that stuff, right? Like, sure, there's many scenarios where somebody is like totally quote unquote normal or not handicapped and their life is miserable, but
there's also ones where their life is great to them, and that's really all that should matter, right? I mean,
I guess.
I mean, it's so weird because, like, let's say I had a retarded kid, right? Knock on fucking whatever you want to knock on. I've made so many horrible jokes in this world. Whatever God's going to give me, He's going to give me at this point. But
yeah.
Crippled, retarded, trans, it's all coming at once. But
all at once? No,
dude. It's going to be an interesting fella.
Just make him look at the flowers.
It's going to be an enticing shim.
Wow.
The child that I have. All right, so you find out your kid's Down syndrome, right? And it's pretty quick, right? Like, we're talking probably around birth, you would already figure it out just from the deformities. And you have the decision. It's like, yeah, we can, I guess, euthanize it, call peaceful pet passing, and Bubbles will show up with the shovel.
Peaceful pet passing.
And we can take this thing out right now. And it almost seems like the responsible thing to do, in the sense that this kid will never probably reproduce, probably never hold a job, probably never be able to graduate, assimilate, and have real friends. Like, he's just going to be kind of living with you until he dies or you die, right? It's a kid that's not moving out. That kid's with you until the end if you have a DS kid. So part of it is like, oh, man, that's kind of almost like a curse on everybody involved. And almost the right thing to do would be like, let's not do this. Part of me also thinks, though, it's like, even if he never gets married and he never falls in love and never holds a real job or any of that shit, if he's happy every day, he lived a better life than a lot of motherfuckers did, in which case he kind of deserved that life. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's kind of like,
Sure.
do I think retarded people should be reproducing? Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that we should euthanize retarded people in general? Probably not.
Yeah, shaky scenario for sure.
Because, I mean, it's mostly depressing for everybody involved. I mean, we like to watch Hallmark movies and The Ringer and pretend like it's a great life, but
It's not.
it's a huge burden.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And, like, you know, like I watch Lynn's, there's nights where she doesn't sleep because she's just thinking, like, what happens to Bubbles?
Mm-hmm.
You know, realistically, what actually happens? We can live in this fairy tale where he lives with me forever, and he might. You know what I'm saying? But that also might not be the fucking future.
Yeah.
You know, it might be that me and him split down the line somewhere, you know, in which case I would probably do my best to make sure he's okay.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
I wouldn't leave him to the wolves, but at the same time, like, I don't know that he'll always be right by my side either. So
Yeah.
I'm sure Lynn thinks the same thing. And anybody who has a handicapped child, as they grow in age, it's like, okay, this was great and I love him and he's had a wonderful life, but I'm going to die. And this motherfucker's still only like 40.
Yeah.
So what? Now I have to live with, like, well, what's going to happen to him? Is he going to get abused? Is he going to be homeless? Is the system going to reject him? Is he going to end up in a home but they don't take care of him, and he's unhappy? Is he going to kill himself? Is he going to do that on accident or on purpose? What kind of depression is he going to go into when I die? And, like, there's just so much anxiety and fear when it comes to what are you going to do when you can't protect that kid anymore.
Yeah.
That almost is just like, you really shouldn't do this, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, who's to say, like, you know, I mean, if you lived a happier life than me, then I think you deserved it more,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Like, even if your happiness is brought to you by shiny lunchboxes and John Cena, that sounds honestly kind of better. It doesn't take as much to make you happy. Sounds like a better lived world. But at the same time, they're full tilt. It doesn't take much to make them sad or pissed either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's full tilt all day, any direction.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, dude. No, I totally like the everyone has a right to live. You know, well, certainly everyone has a right to, like, just feel happiness for sure, right? I agree with you. It's such a slippery slope to talk about for sure. You know, but I do think that one side that people tend to ignore, and I know it's like a happy maybe not a happy circumstance, but it's an idealist circumstance, you know. But if we ever came along a scenario, right, where we could, you know, science evolves with the embryos in the pregnancy stage, right, where you can, like, identify cells and DNA from a get-go, right, and remove cancerous potential DNA and remove all these things that would limit life in some way or another, right, like in a humane way, right, you know. I struggle to rationalize why you wouldn't, prevent. And there's lots of people who go, no, that should never, you know, that should just be how it should be. You know, it's like, but, like, why though? You know, like,
fucking Jesus.
You know, and it's like, but, like, you know, remove mental illness away, you know, and handicap. Remove all that.
Why would you want to keep that? You know?
Why? But I mean, like that aside, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to, like, remove stuff that's potentially, you know, could cause cancer down the line, or I don't know. Again, I'm not very familiar with anatomy and science too in depth is the word. Fucking stoned as fuck today. Sorry. But I guess point being is what I'm trying to say is that, like, I have a hard time believing folks who wouldn't want to find a solution because they just immediately, like, it's like, well, they're fine how they are. It's like, yes, I know that. We know that.
Yeah.
We know that they're people we understand, right?
Yeah.
But that shouldn't halt progress to, you know, it's hard to say, but you limit those numbers, you know, drop them down, not by fucking, you know, cutting their fucking dicks and, you know, neutering them and shit, but by, like, trying to stop the problem from the get-go, right? You know, and science can go that way, but there's a lot of voices against that, and just, like, why?
I think a lot of people who overly protect retarded people are ones who don't deal with them whatsoever.
Sure.
In their day to day.
Yeah.
Like, because one, they're looking at them not as people anymore.
Yeah.
And almost like a different species.
It's like virtue signaling.
It's like, I need to save the whales. I need to save the DS kids. But it's like, I think if any person ever says that, then they've never had an 8-year-old Down syndrome kid uncontrollably crying his heart out and can't explain to you what's wrong.
Right.
You know, you've never had to deal with seeing that side of things. Because I think a lot of what we see is either the super happy ones, you know what I'm saying, or the very timid ones. You don't really get to see the meltdowns as much.
Breakdown, yeah.
And those are hard. Those are hard, especially if you love that child. Like, I remember being in Disney, California Adventure, and you know, when you get an Aussie, they put the big headphones on them, so that way they don't get overstimulated. Because it's like literally autistic poison. Large crowds, tons of noises. Like it's everything that they don't like is Disneyland, but they love Disneyland.
Right.
And I saw this one. It was probably like 16. You know, skinny, kind of tall. You could tell very sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Probably a very nice kid. Just quietly crying their eyes out with the big headphones on, walking away super fast. And then here comes like 10 steps behind dad.
Yeah.
Trying to and looking very sad as well, trying to catch up. Because this kid who has all these problems, they finally took them to the happiest place on earth. The place he's always wanted to go his entire life. The biggest moment of his life. And he's upset, and he's crying, and he's not happy, and you don't know why, and you can't help him, and you can't fix that.
Yeah.
That's got to be so fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think if you're on the whole let's never do this again, I don't think you've ever had to deal with that moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And at the same time, it's not. I think people think about it too much, like you're killing babies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if that case, then every time a woman has a period and doesn't have a baby, then she's a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
we're going to start bringing it all the way down to embryo science, eat a dick. Every time you've never had that child, you're a piece of shit then.
Yeah.
You should be giving birth every
Right.
month.
Yeah, yeah. Our species is designed to make more.
There's a reason you stop having periods while you're pregnant. It's because the egg's already fertilized, which means, in theory, you should be able to use all your eggs.
Right.
Because you won't be using them while you're pregnant. So,
right.
You know, if you're not using all your eggs, then you're a pig, and I don't want to hear about it. You fucking baby murderer.
Oh man, let's stake that in the ground and segue hard.
All right.
Oh man,
So,
you baby murderer.
both of us actually together got a new experience this week, and I had no fucking idea about it until I got here today, and I'm very excited about it. You and I both got bidets.
That's hilarious. Oh my god. Oh my god. No wonder.
Oh my god.
I was wondering why you were so stoked earlier.
I was so happy about it, bro. So I'm talking to my god brother, and he's talking about how much he loves his bidet. And
why the fuck does everyone say that shit?
oh, because
I don't understand.
Oh, you just got to use it a few times.
No, I'm not going to.
Trust me, you'll understand.
No.
It is phenomenal.
My butthole is for nobody.
Dude,
nobody.
We got like the fancy one. It comes with like a. It's got that motherfucker's got like AI. It knows when you're in the room.
You gonna do warm water?
Yeah.
Damn.
And it warms the seats too.
Damn.
Yeah, it has a sensor when you come in the room. It'll start warming up the seat.
Oh, wow.
And you can start warming up the water.
Welcome, sir.
Oh yeah, and then
Your poop suit is ready.
oh yeah, you can adjust the nozzle, the pressure, the direction that motherfucker's going, the temp of the water, and the seat.
Has it got a little fucking like a joystick so you can adjust the fucking?
I wish
That would be the icing on the cake. Can you imagine?
Instead, it's like a D-pad.
You know, no, it's on the side of the toilet still, but it's like still like a little joystick that you can move and adjust the nozzle. That would be wild, dude.
For this, like on the remote, you get like a D-pad that can move it around.
That's still good though.
Yeah, so I can like always try to realign it to wherever my asshole is at that moment. And it's got like, you know.
How do you find out? Do you spray your cheeks first and then you just slowly move it to your butthole?
I think it always hits center somewhere on the crack, but you got to move it to the asshole. Yeah. Like it might be a little too high. It might be up by the balls. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to make sure you adjust, sit where you got to sit.
Oh my god.
I also noticed that the type of seat it is, it's not like a flat toilet seat. It almost has like a ridge at the end upwards, like a scoop.
Oh, interesting.
So when you sit down, it pulls your ass cheeks apart a little bit for you.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, and then it's got a picture of ass getting hit by water, and then that's called posterior.
Posterior.
There's a turbo. There's a feminine.
What's turbo?
Turbo is a lot of water pressure. And I took a gulp of that bad boy the other day, and I wasn't ready for that shit at all. I got too comfortable with that fucking thing. Because at first I couldn't do it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, anything touching my asshole was making me freak the fuck out.
Yeah,
and it was one of those things where I would start uncontrollably laughing on the toilet because you don't want to just jump off the toilet, bro, because you're gonna be spraying everywhere. So you're like stuck. You're like glued, just taking your splash. So then I tell Bubbles, I was like, Bubbles, go in there and try out the turbo on like the first day, dude. And Bubbles fearlessly just goes in there and he just hits turbo right away. Dude, he comes out giggling like a schoolgirl, bro. He fucking finally got a girlfriend in that toilet.
Oh my god!
I thought about fucking leaving mine. That shit was wonderful.
Oh, why do you got a girlfriend?
Oh dude, and like,
or is he the girlfriend now?
Oh, I know, right?
Is that how that works?
It's crazy because
Oh my god!
So at first for me, uncontrollable giggling. It was just like getting my butthole tickled in camp all over again.
I'm crying, dude. Oh my god!
After you get past the uncontrollable giggling stage, then you have the just kind of uncomfortable, but you're starting to relax.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like there's
your butthole is not puckering as much now.
Yeah, like there's this Kanye West song where it goes, "Good morning, ooh," and I was thinking about that song as my ass cheeks were spreading.
Ooh, and then your ass cheeks are opening in like to the ooh part.
Yeah. And then it hit me right in the splinter of the eye, and I fucking started laughing hell hard. Just right in the brown note, bro. Took me right to the fourth dimension.
And you said you take a fucking giant drink, dude.
Oh, dude. So that happened to me.
Drink?
That happened to me this morning. Yeah, that's the first time that's happened. So at this point, bro, it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I've finally gotten to the point where like I'm used to it now. So I go in, I look forward to it now. You know what I'm saying? Because I get into the bathroom, I'll get on that bad boy. First thing that happens, I'm grabbing that remote and I'm pressing buttons.
I'm going to turbo.
I'm turning the water up. I'm turning the temp up. I'm turning the seat temp up. It's got a dryer, which is like somebody just...
There's a dryer in it?
It's like somebody's just under your ass cheeks. Right on your hole. Just nice and gentle. And you could dry her all you want. You could dry her until you're completely drip dry. So
I'm gonna die.
I start getting used to it, right? Like I start using the turbo. I start hitting the oscillate feature, which is also aggressive.
What's the oscillate?
Oscillate's like getting fingered because it only oscillates like within a half inch of itself, forward and backwards.
What?
Yeah, it's just hitting your hole on both sides.
What is that supposed to do?
It's really splashing.
What is it supposed to do?
It's splashing. Well, you know what I'm saying? It's getting all that ass out. And it works. Don't get me wrong. Like there's been a few times where like I've done it and I've hit the toilet paper after and I was like, no.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, that's not enough.
I'm dying.
But there's been times where I've done it and the TP's like clean.
Send help. Keep going.
So this morning, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready for work. I'm doing my sauna time, which is where I do my writing.
My sauna time.
Yeah, this is what I like to do. I get on the toilet and butt ass naked.
Yeah.
I turn the shower on as hot as it can, and I make sure that the fart fan is off. The vent for the bathroom off every time, and I let the bathroom fill with the steam from the hot ass shower as I sit naked on the toilet and write on my phone.
Huh.
Yeah, that's
a vibe.
That's where I've been doing all my writing.
It's kind of a vibe.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. It's pretty fucking chill. And then when you're done,
you turn on the turbo and then get in the shower.
Yeah, dude. You get a nice hot shower at the end, dude. It's fucking wonderful. So that's been my thing. But so this morning, I'm all getting ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And fucking, I hit the turbo and I'm like kind of like leaning around, like moving. Just pushing around the cheeks.
Just wiggling around in there, trying to get it positioned right.
And I hadn't had this happen to me before yet, but it hit so dead center that I felt the water go inside of me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
I wish I should have stood up. I should have stood up and started like jostling up and down to shake it. And sat back down and shit it out.
That might have caused it to go further up.
Yeah,
honestly.
like mouthwash though. Like
oh my god!
I just start bouncing.
You shake your innards.
Yeah. Like I'm making a martini and then sit back down and blast it.
It's a butt wash.
Oh man!
You need your innards fucking butt wash. Just get butt chug.
Oh yeah. But I'll tell you what, no more TP in that fucking bathroom. We don't need it. It's fucking,
yeah, I bet.
It's wonderful. I'll sit. You really gotta. You gotta let it hit every part of your asshole. It just doesn't work. It's not worth it.
So does it just splatter shit everywhere on the inside then?
No, because
How?
It cleans itself. I think it's like a. I think what it's doing is I think it just hits the bowl when it's done with you. Because I looked at my nozzle. My nozzle's on like a 360-degree gyro.
Yeah.
That's fixed to a slot upwards.
Uh-huh.
Right? So if you were to try to go up in any way, you get locked into a position. You can't go left, right, or anything like that.
Sure.
But if you come out of the locked position, say towards the inside of the bowl, now you have 360-degree motion. So I think when it's locked up at your asshole, it can kind of only go up and down, right? And as soon as you let the gyro out, now it can spray the inside of the bowl. Because every time you hit a button, you hear it spray something first. You know?
Interesting.
Because you'll hear it go ksh, and then as the nozzle moves, and then it hits you in the ass.
Makes a fucking washing machine
It
sound.
makes a lot of
for
noises, dude.
For fuck's sake,
Yeah.
dude. Why is everything we have beep?
It's like a horror
Why
movie.
is everything we have beep,
Yeah,
dude?
It should be a whisper.
Oh, yeah.
Almost. It's time. Splash. High intensity.
Splash.
Oh, yeah.
Turbo.
Oh, my God. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. That was a fucking experience. So then I read it. I put on Reddit.
Fucking God,
I was like,
dude.
is it gay that my bidet makes me laugh uncontrollably like a child when it's touching my asshole? And according to the internet, not gay.
Good.
Yeah,
All right.
just turns out I'm into ass play. So is Bubbles, I guess. Bubbles fucking.
I'm very against it. You're good.
We call it taking a splash.
I'm very against it.
Have you ever tried it? No, well, okay. I would try it right before you get in the shower.
No.
Like don't try it
No.
with the idea of like you're gonna pull your pants up and go about your day. For the first couple times you try it, it's got to be like I'm getting in the shower right afterwards. I don't need wet cheeks.
Oh
I don't
my
need any of that.
God.
but
Yeah,
I'm excited for my first
It makes
diarrhea.
it worse for what the fuck? I mean, I guess sure, but
Well, because here's the thing, bro. When you get diarrhea, obviously you gotta
Yes.
go like 5 or 6 times, and then by one point you start wiping yourself raw. That's not going to be a problem anymore.
yeah, that's fair.
It's not going to be a
That's
problem.
fair.
Also, I don't think it's going to take that much water to wash off diarrhea hole as like a regular poop. You know, that's got some like solid to it. I think like a diarrhea one's just a nice quick splash. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to hit turbo. Hit the dryer.
Don't even have to hit
It's
turbo.
It's goddamn,
oh my
goddamn.
God, dude.
It's beautiful.
God. I wonder how many viewers are being convinced right now, and how many you're like just like sending the other way.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Because like I it's a firm stance right now. I nothing near my butthole. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll clean myself in the shower, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel
if,
it.
If you go anywhere near my butthole, I'm probably twisting your head
Here's the
off.
thing.
You know,
I was already kind of exploring into my own asshole in the shower as it is, just to in the name of cleanliness, not necessarily for pleasure.
yeah, but the way you say it like that.
Yeah, dude. It started with a cheek wipe and ended with spelunking. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a quarter of my finger in there.
and then it ended with turbo.
Oh yeah. I want to be able to.
Asshole.
I want to be able to like take a shit at 8 a.m. and at like fucking 3 p.m, swipe my finger across the inside of my butt crack and have nothing on
be
it.
fucking crystal clear.
Yeah, and I could do that.
Like
some
a
most
cartoon
days.
where it's sparkly
Yeah.
and shit.
Most days, that's the case. Like right now, I don't think I'd have any poo on my finger if I touch my asshole.
Oh, good.
And it's been 12 hours since I shit.
Good.
Yeah, so like,
Dude, I'm usually a pretty clean wiper though, and so I don't think I need a bidet to keep myself cleanly.
I think you gotta try it.
No.
4 to 11 times.
No, 4 to 11
Because
times.
you're not gonna get used to it fast.
No, yeah, of course, because I'm never gonna get used to it.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna sit on it.
It's not a quick experience. Like maybe for the women, they must enjoy the hell out of it, but fucking A.
No, but because I feel like they got a bigger hole. What if the water shoots up into their coochie? You know,
they're probably fine.
You know what I
right?
say? That probably doesn't seem pleasant.
I don't know if
You
I
know?
can. If I could dip my dick into a bathtub and fill it like one of those water willy poodle noodle things, where you pull back and it fills, I'd be pretty sick. I would do it all the
I
time.
probably would feel really weird.
I would do it all the time.
You probably feel really weird.
I would consider it detoxing. I'm cleaning my prostate.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, dude. In some worlds, they do that shit. I feel like
Oh, yikes.
Anyways,
Oh,
fucking
man.
Christ.
Hard transition.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
I started dabbling into pay to win phone games. It all started
No.
a couple of years ago when I was playing Raid.
I just immediately saw a black and white LA noir transition on you.
Oh yeah,
You have the suit with the pointy hat,
Just fat playing Raid on my phone.
Your accent out of nowhere. I remember like I was just yesterday.
It's actually interesting if you think about it. When I started playing Raid Shadow Legends, it was exactly when I stopped exercising. Because it's when I got injured, when I fucked my leg up.
That's right, yeah.
So I started playing Raid to kill time, and then next thing you know, I started playing Raid instead of exercising. And I've been on mobile app games ever since then. But I never really dove into paying for anything. Like Raid had like a $10 a month subscription if you wanted some like extra shit. And I remember I did a couple months of that because it was on auto pay, and I forgot. So then I found out, it's like, oh, I've paid for like 4 months of this fucking game. Like,
And I haven't been going into it?
not necessarily. Well, I've been playing it, but I didn't know that my card was
Being charged.
reoccurring.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that's like $40. Boohoo! It's not the end of the world.
Sure.
Over the course of like 8 months or whatever, it's really not that bad. We all have jobs and shit like that.
Sure.
But then I started playing. I was like, all right, I need to get off of Raid because it's getting to the point now where I've progressed so far the game is boring. Like I'm max level every boss.
Yeah.
I'm topping the server. Any clan or guild is gonna want me 100% of the time because I'm gonna be one of the strongest guys. Not even pay to win to do it. I just played Raid for like 2 years straight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe even a little longer. So like by the time I was done, like just by doing the daily challenges once a month, you have a chance at a legendary.
Yeah.
So over the course of years, of course, I had quite a few stacked up. So it was just, it was like, all right, I'm pretty much done with this game. There's not much I can do. So I started playing another game, and every now and then it'd be like, I could play it for hours, and then be like, hey, for 99 cents, we noticed you were done, but for 99 cents, we can get you a couple more hours. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't want something to do. So you hit that 99 cents, right? Like, maybe it's like a game where it's like you got 6 lives.
Yeah.
And a life takes 2 hours to get another one. So like, you're out of lives, but for 99 cents, we'll give you like 3 of them. And you're like, oh, well, that's another couple. That's a while of gameplay. Or like they'll be like, all right, for $3, we'll give you the equivalent of like 2 months worth of game progression. I think that's a big one, right? It's just like, we'll give you items that you can get in the game for free, but it's going to take you for fucking ever.
Yeah.
So, and that's the whole system. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So I start getting into this one game, and 99 cents here, 99 cents there becomes $4, becomes 5, becomes 10, and then you start going, okay, like I think I've paid more for this than a fucking AAA Xbox game. I need to get off of this game.
Yeah.
Which is only $60. So again, we're not talking crazy. I know people have spent a lot of fucking money on these games.
Sure.
So then I get this Dragon Ball Z game, and like it's beta, so there isn't too many people on my server. Quickly I get into the top 10 of the server without pay to win. And then as the game opens up more and more and people start to come in, I've got this head start, and I'm like grinding and maybe 3 here, 5 there. And then, then more people come into the server, and some of them are more pay heavy. So now they're catching you super fast. And then there's the crazy pay heavy ones that are in unreachable spots. You know what I'm saying? But you've got this cool cluster where you're still in the top 10. And you're just like, I'm going to keep grinding. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh man, this guy fucking passed me. But if I pay $10 right now, he won't catch me for like a fucking while. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh, there's this really cool event, and I might be able to get this crazy character that's like impossible to get. But you gotta pay like
they get you.
$10 at the wheel every time.
Yep.
And you spin the wheel for your $10, you get fucking nothing.
Yep.
It's like, oh yeah, bitch, how about 100? And you give them $100, and you get nothing.
Or they give you a little something, but it's not what you wanted.
Yeah. Or they give you what you wanted, but that just opened up your taste to how much more you can have.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll give you Super Saiyan God 4 Ultra Instinct Goku. You know what I'm saying? We're actually going to give you that one. Now, good luck getting all the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I had people in my guild that were like, and this was an embarrassing but kind of interesting thing they did, was the more money you spent, the more your VIP level was. In which case, and this is all a resource building game.
Sure.
So you just build resources like an RPG, and you give them to your fighters, and you can have 5 fighters at a time fighting for you. 2 front, 3 back. So skill, damage, attack, support, tank. And you gather gear and all that to level them up. So it's like, all right, well, every day you'll be able to do these challenges a set amount of times. And that's the gear you can make for the day. But if you're VIP level 4, you get an extra one on each one of those. If you're level 5, you get 2 extra. So the higher you level up your VIP, the more resources you can gather every day compared to others. So the people who are the high levels, they can level up at a rate that's like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times faster than the people who are free to play because they just can't gather resources at this rate, right? Also, you could just pay for the fucking resources. So I get to the point of this game where like I looked on, and I think I'd spent over the course of a couple months like a couple $100.
Damn.
And, and I was like, I fell into it.
Gotcha.
I hate to admit it, but I fell into it. I really did. I spent the money. I don't feel good that I spent the money because I was enjoying the game. And then last night I was sitting on the toilet during spa sesh, and I realized to myself, it's like, I like this game a lot. There's still a lot for me to do in this game, but I'm already at the point where if I don't want to pay money, every move I take is going to take months.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a high level, and because the daily resources that you do get are pretty low. Even me, like I've got a decent VIP level because I spent hundreds of fucking dollars. I mean, there's people who spent thousands, so they have a much higher level.
Right.
But like mine was still like enough to where I was like embarrassed. Where I'd be like, if you played with me and you're like, how'd you get to that? And you're like, money.
Yeah.
Why are you like VIP 8? Money. This is the only way to get it.
It feels bad. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a mark of shame. So then you see somebody's like VIP 20, you're like, dude, fuck me. It was like, between 8 and 9, you had to spend like $400. Well, get all the way up to 20.
Yeah.
So last night I was like, all right, at this point, even though there's a lot to progress, everything that I want to do to progress is going to take super duper long, or I'm going to have to keep paying. And that number that I pay has gone from like $5 here, $5 there to $30 here, $30 there. And I just decided in the moment, I was like, this game, I have to stop. Delete it on the spot. Because there's no way to play without spending money at this point.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Raid, and I'm glad that I caught it when I did, because it was... It's an interesting thing about these pay-to-win games, because you come in, and if you're willing to pay, right, you come in, and you try level 1, and it's fun, it's a decent game, and then they go, hey, for $3, we'll give you like level 20 shit, even though you're level 1, right?
Right.
So then you spend the $3, and you're a god for the next like couple hours of gameplay. You're just like, oh, fuck everything. I'm killing everything. I'm killing fucking 18 people with one sword slash. And then finally you start to catch up to where probably you should be in the game. But at that point, you've been playing this game for probably weeks to catch up to the progression that you got when you spent that $3. Right? So now you're kind of where you normally are. You've kind of got the same level gear on par with the other people that you're at. Right? And you go, well, this is fun, and you can either choose right there to keep progressing naturally, don't make it any more money. Just keep playing free to play from there, and I think you'll get the longest and best experience at the game. Or the other way is you go, oh, well, I caught up, more money. Here's another 20. Here's another 40. You know what I'm saying? That $10.99 pack looks pretty dope. I did the math on it, and this pack for $18.99 is way better than this other one for $32.99. It's in the same game. So why would I be dumb enough to buy that $32.99 when I could buy this $18? I'm a genius, and you just spent $19 on fucking giving Mario a different color hat. You know what I'm saying? To make your Fortnite guy look a little different.
Gotcha.
So I definitely fell into it for the first time, and I'm hoping the last, because I deleted the fuck out I deleted not only any game that I was willing to spend money on, but really almost any app that was taking my time. You know, like besides Instagram, because I'm a pervert.
Hell yeah.
You know, I like to look at hot women. I like titties, butt cheeks, and some of the hilarious things you see on Instagram.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's not going nowhere. But as far as like Dragon Ball Z and those pay-to-win games I was playing, they had to go.
Yeah, I feel that, dude. The only game I have right now is Pokemon Go, just because that's the game I've always just like popped in, threw some Pokeballs, and popped out.
Yeah, and it's one of those like you don't have to spend money on Pokemon Go. But I think the lesson learned is though, like I don't think pay to win is bad in the beginning, right? So if you download a phone app game and you play a couple minutes of it and you really do think you're gonna enjoy it, and like you spend like $3 to $5 on a pack, and then you get easily another 20 to 30 hours of gameplay. I don't see anything wrong with that.
It's worth
right?
it. Yeah.
The company gets a little tip of the hat, a little money for their time, and you got more than enough hours worth of gameplay. I think it's when you dive in and you're like, do these guys really deserve $4,000 from you for this game, for Clash of Clans?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what some people do. Some people, when you look at these games and you think about it, like you're like, he must have spent like $20,000. Like to get to all of that. And some people do, we know the video game shamans, the people who, you want to play at the top, but you don't have that kind of time because you have a work life and career. So you supplement it with that work life and career and be like, well, fuck you. I'm a big boy. I make fucking $40 an hour. So what's half an hour's worth of work? Here you go. Here's a 20, bitch. I'm not poor. Next thing you know, it's like, how much did I spend last
They put on the shit? Yeah,
You open up your Google Play and like, you spent $1,300 on the Google Play apps.
That's why they call them gotcha games.
Like, you bastards.
Like, gotcha games has been like one of the the most profitable things ever for mobile games.
And that's the thing, though, is if you gotcha too much, you just reach the end of the game immediately, and now you spent all this money and you're done with your game.
Yep, but they already got you at that point.
But they got you. Motherfuckers.
They already got you.
Yep.
They got their money and walked away.
And that's the lesson, folks. Join us next week while we figure out how to get Bubbles in the peaceful pet passing services. We'll try to get him a job in that.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, dude, yeah. We'll give him like a fucking taser and a kitchen knife.
I don't know if it'd be peaceful.
No. No, he's the other option. Yeah, I'd like to see Bubbles just fucking showing up at somebody's. Like, I watched this thing the other day. It was just a dumb, like, on the streets kind of skit.
Yeah.
And the guy's wearing, like, a lab coat. Oh, just some black dude in a lab coat. And he comes up to people with dogs. And he goes, oh, your dog's so cute. And, like, he's like, can I pick him up? And then they'll say yes. So he'll pick up the dog and he'll start petting it. And he goes, okay, can I put him down? And the owner's like, yeah, of course. And then he'll reach into like his pocket and he'll grab a big ass syringe out.
Oh my
the owner's like,
God.
No.
Oh my God.
You said I could put him down. Like, what the?
I was like, no, on the ground, you asshole.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck, dude.
Holy
shit. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Bubbles would be the Renegon to the Paragon of peaceful.
Oh, yes.
Fucking,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He showed up with a fucking bullet vest on for some reason.
He's got a caution vest on.
How many shots you think
Yellow
you're going to take?
reflectors with a hard hat and shit, just in case.
Oh, my God. All right, folks. Well, we'll join us next week as we discuss John trying to run a 5K in May. We'll fucking see. I already took the fat photo.
I'm down.
I'm already training.
I'm down.
It's 3.1 miles. It's obtainable. We could fucking do it.
I'm down.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.